Ça va bien? Merci beaucoup. Don't know why I decided to start speaking French, but hi guys. I'm on my break, working on a birth center and in a bit of a dilemma because I need to decide whether I will stay with the lady I've been looking after all day or go and look after another lady. They're both at the same dilation. But it's just like one is more likely to have a normal birth than the other. One has decided to go downstairs for epidural. And I don't know. I do need more births, so I might be more inclined to, and another student would understand, be more inclined to staying with, to going to the one who is staying on birth center. But I'm hoping that afterwards I can go to the other one, maybe get 2 births, I don't know. But I've also enjoyed looking after this lady as well. I don't know, I feel like I'm betraying her. I don't know, because I don't know what to do, but I'm thinking about it. But while I'm thinking about it, I'll give you the lowdown on the day. Like, you don't know what to expect. Every day is really different, honestly, because from this morning I was thinking I might go into another ward because I don't think anything's gonna happen today, but so I got to shift a bit late. Another student was here and she went to go and look after the labourer, so there was actually nothing for me really to do. So one of the midwives asked me to check the resuscitators. These resuscitators are very different. So resuscitate is for resuscitating a baby. So these resuscitators are very different to what I'm actually used to as well. Yeah, they're quite different to what I'm used to. So I started checking it and I got the hang of it. So checking it was fine. They were all fine apart from one that needed a stethoscope and another pair of scissors. So I got the scissors. I didn't get a stethoscope because I didn't know where to get them from. But one midwife was like, oh, this lady is pushing, so basically I should leave the resuscitator on. And thank God I checked them. Thank God I checked them because it was needed. I'm gonna might keep looking at my paper because a lot happened. So the lady was pushing and I was asked to draw up Sintimetrin. Sintimetrin is a drug that's given to help the uterus contract the placenta out, basically. So basically we checked, I got someone else and then we checked the Sintimetrin and I drew it up and then I gave it to the midwife. Yeah. And then all of a sudden she asked me to call another midwife who was around. I couldn't find her, then I found her and called her. She went in there within seconds. The emergency buzzer was pulled. I ran in there, but I was going not as fast because like there's more important people, and I'm putting myself down, more important people there that needs to go in there, that can be of more help than me, because obviously I'm still training and learning. And basically they were like, how it's a shoulder dystocia. So they had been trying to get the woman was in McRoberts position, which means her legs were up and she was holding on to like her knees, and they were trying to get the posterior arm out, and they were saying they couldn't get the posterior arm out, and that they need an obstetrician. And I think they felt like everyone's just there looking at them but no one's doing anything. So I think someone called an obstetrician. I heard somebody was already taking notes, so I didn't really know what help I could be, but I heard get the PPH trolley. I need 40 units. I had Sintimetrin. I had just done Sintimetrin. I know how to do 40 units, so I rushed in to go and do it, and then I was like, hang on, I can't do this by myself, because I can do it by myself but I need someone with me. So I went back out and they had sorted out all of that already. But I came out and the baby had been born, but the baby was on the resuscitator that I had just checked. They were asking for a stethoscope, so I quickly got them a stethoscope from the other resuscitator. And it was very mad because it was a very heightened situation. They were assessing baby's colour, tone, breathing and heart rate. I heard that the baby's respiratory effort was not good. And that they're going to give 5 more inflation breaths. So I saw them give their 5 inflation breaths, and if you watch my first ever video on YouTube, that is literally me in reenacting what happens in neonatal resuscitation. Like, that's one way it could go. So the 5 inflation breaths that I gave to the baby, that's the 5 inflation breaths they were given to this real baby. and this was the neonatal team doing that. Because when these things happen, we call the peds immediately, and the baby doctors and baby nurses kind of take over the baby's care, and we stay with the woman. But in this occasion, as I wasn't actually the student looking after the woman, I was able to save the baby doctors and see what actually happened, or what happened in this scenario. So they reassessed the baby again after giving 5 more inflation breaths, and there was a good cry. They done the baby sats, which was also good, and I would just say that baby passed the assessment. The color was good, the tone was good, the breathing was good, and the heart rate was good. So they stopped with all of that. And the ped actually reassessed later, and the ped must have asked me if they have sucrose. I know what sucrose is from biology, but I haven't heard of anyone actually asking me for sucrose. So I was like, oh, let me check for you. So sucrose was actually on the postnatal ward, and I had to go and get it. And I asked the ped, what's that? And he was like, it's just like sugary water. It calms babies down. Yeah. And it distracts the baby. And I saw this. I saw a baby literally sucking on it, enjoy having the time of his life. Yeah. But yeah, anyway, things I heard afterwards was that, like, the midwife said she knew that was going to happen. Like, the woman hadn't passed urine since 2 a.m. She said she found out looking at the woman's notes, and that they would have expected more progress at the stage that she was, and her bladder had not been emptied. And I think they weighed baby, and the baby was on the bigger side, not macrosomic, but was on the bigger side. But yeah, the thing is, baby is fine and mum is fine. Yes, the only other thing was that the baby actually ended up with a fracture and like a displacement of the humerus. I think with all the pulls and tugs to try and get the baby out, because the baby went for an x-ray, and the advice given by the neonatal doctor or nurse was that the baby, when feeding, went on mum, because the baby's just in pain. Baby's in pain. So if anybody tries to take baby, the baby starts crying, the baby's just comfortable on mum. So when feeding and when baby's on mum, baby's arm should be resting on a pillow, and they should look out for the colour, and if the arm feels cold or hot or whatever, a minimal handling of that arm. Yeah, and then they're gonna try and get some paracetamol for the baby, because that one was mad. But the best news is that the baby's okay. Apart from that, they obviously, baby will get a cast and physio and all of that sorted out, but baby's here now. And mum is also fine, but it was very intense, very, very intense. Yeah, so that's the first part of my day. I'll give you the lowdown in the second part. So I had to bring the camera closer to me for the second part. After this, I was told I'm gonna have a lady. I was like, ooh, yeah, ooh. So this woman came in. She's already had a baby before, so she's para 1. She had a baby in 2019. And I got to work with a band 7 midwife, a midwife who I really admire, who I think is amazing. And I was so gassed. I was like, I'm going to learn so much. I was so happy. And the woman was 40 plus 6, and she was induced basically upon request. But this is just because it was recommended for her to be induced at 41 weeks or 41 plus something, but there was no space available, and she would have rathered baby to come earlier than later. So she was like, cool, induce me when there's availability. And I guess it was, I don't know when it was, but maybe yesterday, maybe today, I don't know. So yeah, she came up. They said that she's 7 centimeters basically. Yeah, I love partners that are so supportive. Oh my gosh, her partner's amazing, giving her a massage, encouraging her, speaking to her about doing her breathing. He's doing so well. I'm so proud of him. But yeah, this woman was literally breathing through her contractions, and I was like thinking, I don't know how some women are able to do it. Like, I want to do research into whether it's your diet and your health and all of that stuff that enables some women to get through it. Like, what is it? Like, it's so interesting. But yeah, I built a great rapport with this woman. She told me that her mum was a midwife and her mum loved it. And she was like, well done to you, because there's a crisis and there's a need for so many midwives and you're actually doing it, so well done. And I was like, oh. But yeah, I'd been conducting her fetal heart rate every 15 minutes. I'd also been, I done her obs, making sure she's okay, speaking to her about changing position. They're just so good. Like at times she wanted to walk, at times she wanted to be in all fours. Yeah, she's doing amazing. She's emptying her bladder well, hydrating well. And the plan was to give her an examination. So to our knowledge, she's 7 centimeters. So for that examination, if she was to be at the same place or even 8 centimeters, because her waters hadn't gone, would artificially rupture her membranes, which means that would use like a hook to break the waters. And she was examined, yeah. She was examined and found to be 5 centimeters. It was all like raw. And obviously examinations are subjective, but the midwife who checked her has actually been a midwife for a long time, so she's done a lot of these. So yeah, she broke her waters and spoke about doing another examination in another 2 hours and seeing if there's any progress, and yeah, just to keep going. And after breaking waters, she recommends for her to walk, to mobilize. So she was speaking about heartburn and asking for Gaviscon, which we can give. So that's part of midwife's exemptions. I've got hiccups probably. But with Gaviscon in my trust, they give 10 mils in a syringe. So you just go and do it up, and then you give it to the woman and she can give it to herself, basically. So she kept going to toilet. I was asking if did she feel like everything's come out? She's emptied her bladder well. And her partner was like, why? And look at me, I was stuttering over why. But basically, if the bladder's full, that can kind of obstruct baby when it comes to the pushing stage and actually pushing baby out. But yeah, it's good to empty your bladder. You don't want urine infection or anything as well. So yeah, so that was happening. I conducted her observations again, and then she had another examination, and she was found to be, before this examination, after the ARM, she was actually going through it. Like her breathing changed, the way she was coping changed. She was still doing very well, but you could tell that she's even more distressed, if that makes sense. Her pulse was on the higher side. So what we decided to do, she was hydrating well, was to give her high calorie, high sugar calorie food. So we gave her jelly and yogurt and juice. And the midwife's rationale with this was that basically, like, her body is using all its reserves, which is why the pulse is really high. So we need to give her more energy. She was just going through it as well. So we got the doctors to prescribe her Oromorph, which is also put in a syringe, and the mother can take it through her mouth. So that's an oral morphine. So her dilation was checked once again, and she was 7 centimeters. She done amazing. And I was like, you've got this far with nothing. Women are amazing. Our bodies are amazing. The fact that we are able, by God's grace, to produce this human. I know it comes from like an egg and sperm, but it's just growing in the woman. It's crazy. But she got to 7 centimeters, and when she heard that, she was like, nah, she needs epidural. So basically she's gone down for epidural, and I'm trying to figure out whether I'm going to stay with her or stay up here with another lady who's also 7 centimeters. But in my head I'm thinking, I'll stay up here. After the woman has her baby, hopefully I can go downstairs. That's the plan. Hey guys, sad news. So the lady that was actually going to stay with, no, it's not sad, it's good for her, let me not say that. But she actually delivered, she had her baby. Yeah, she's already got 2 babies already, so it just happened really fast. I'm going to join the other one and keep you guys posted now. Hey guys, I have ended up on the labor ward. Kind of disappointed, but I can't do anything about it now. Yeah, what would I do differently? I would have not gone on my break, and I think I could hear a call bell whilst I was on my break, and I would have gone to go and see what's happening quicker than I did, because when I went out I could hear a baby crying, so I knew that the baby had come already. So It would have been nice to have that baby, but it's okay. Need to get that out of my mind and focus on the care that I'm giving now. This lady's just had the epidural. It does seem like things have slowed down, I can't lie. I don't know if we're going to get a baby today. Her next examination's at 6, which is in an hour, so we'll see how it goes.